Hello again. Here we are in part 3. And the question is, where do I start? The test is complete. What do I look at first? Okay. And so here we go. The first thing that you want to look at is the cardio screen. And you can see that with the arrow in yellow and it's showing up in black. And you're going to click on that. And in this particular case, there's a drop-down menu. It says, warning, irregular heart rhythm. The recording indicates a high probability of irregular heart rhythms, leading to possible inaccurate results. Falsely elevated values. So it's going to look really, really good, even though it's not. On HQP, further evaluation with a licensed heart professional or cardiologist may be warranted if the pattern continues, So when I see something like this, again, you want to make sure that they weren't on any stimulants, they didn't exercise before, they didn't do a lot of caffeine before, and those kind of things. And then you recheck. If this is consistent, you might say, hey, Mrs. Jones, it seems like, you might have some irregular rhythms. It may not be a big deal, but I want you to get them checked out with your cardiologist. It's just a safe thing and a smart thing to do. And what you're looking for here, I'll go back here. You see where the yellow arrow is and it says rejections? It says 205 rejections. It should not be over 20 rejections. So anything over 20, you're not going to read the test because it's going to make those R to R waves look much, well, let's talk about it. Heart rate variability. What are we looking at in heart rate variability? We're looking at the difference between one R wave to the next. As you see, there are those little peaks, and we're measuring it in milliseconds, and it's going to make it look like there's lots of variability. That sympathetic and parasympathetic are pushing back and forth against each other, one speeding up the heart and one slowing down the heart, and it's going to make it look like with an arrhythmia or an abnormal rhythm there, it's going to make it look much better, a much better heart rate variability. And you'll probably see a big green pie when you look at the pie that we'll go over later on the HeartQuest. And all the numbers are going to be really good, high total power, and it's going to look like a really good heart rate variability. Okay? Really important that you don't read that. So you first must look at the rejections. Right off the bat, take a look at it. Okay? Especially if you see a big green pie. It's going to clue you in on the HeartQuest, okay? Now, on the bottom there, you see that plus sign, okay? This big plus sign right there. Now, you can move that, and you can investigate what you see above, and as I move through that, in this particular case, there's so many rejections that you'll see those in red there. But some areas may be normal and other areas may be outliers. And you can move that plus sign to kind of spot them and see where they are on the HeartQuest Professional. Okay? Real important. And again, you can see here, we kind of put it in the big print there, 205 rejections. Okay? Over 20 rejections, stop. Do not interpret the rest of the HQP. The high rejections can be caused by an artifact. Maybe they were moving. That they should have their hands on their lap. They shouldn't be moving. They shouldn't be talking. Feet flat on the floor, eyes open, right? So sometimes, you leave the room and we see that where they're up and they're scratching their head and they're doing all sorts of things. You got to make sure that doesn't happen, right? Okay. And the values are going to look with this kind of situation much better than they really are. Again, we talk about repeat the evaluation. And if you look down below, you'll see no caffeine or stimulants or exercise before testing. You might review their medications. They may be doing something that's stimulating. No talking or movement during the test. Hands comfortably on the thighs. Eyes open, feet flat on the floor. This is really, really, really important because some people are wearing different, the Aura Ring and different Bluetooth devices that can compete. No competing Bluetooth devices, especially wearables. Okay, so there you go. That's a really important slide because we do get phone calls, people saying, hey, this person looks so good. Why do they look so good when they're so bad, right? There you go. So again, this is real typical right off the bat. If I see a big green pie in that HF section there, a lot of times it's a giveaway. It could be true, but if they have those high rejections again, then I would go, let's check the cardio section, next to that nervous system screen that's lit up on the icons in black. It's right next to it, okay? So green, so clean, so perfect. Nah. Okay. So there you go. So don't be fooled by clean data. So over 20 rejections again. I'm repeating this because I see this time and time again. Stop. Do not interpret the rest of the HQP. And there you got Roadrunner there. Not so fast. 205 rejections can make everything look better than it really is. So there you go. Here's some more clues. Check the scattergram. The scattergram can reveal hidden clues that the numbers don't. So always look down there as you slide down on the cardio screen there, the bottom, and you'll see that the scatter on this particular person is all over the place. Dots all over the place are giving you a clue that there's some issue here. Okay? And so if you click on that scattergram screen, a menu will drop down explaining what the different scatters, in that scattergram look like. And this is a number 4. If you see random dots everywhere, there is a possibility of arrhythmia or SA node dysfunction. So there you go. And so I'm a little detective guy over there. Numbers look good, but let's be a detective. 4 clues in the scattergram. Normal oval shape means autonomic nervous system is in equilibrium. A small cloud, indication of sympathetic dominance. 2 or more clouds, possible arrhythmias or PVCs. And obviously there's 2 or more clouds there. Random dots everywhere, possible arrhythmia or SA node dysfunction. So there you go. Real important to see that right off the bat. So again, that's the end of part 3. Nobody wants to be rejected. High rejections are frustrating, but they also tell a story. Clean recording lead to a cleaner answers. In other words, we've had people who make decisions based on what they see, not looking at or knowing that this is going on, and they think, wow, this person's doing really well. So we want accurate data. And I want to thank you for listening to this one, and we'll continue.